My name is Alan Gifford, and I'm a behavioral specialist. And I've worked with a number of youth, and some of those youth have ADHD. One of the hallmarks of ADHD is just that classic difficulty staying on task, where it becomes difficult for that youth to be able to focus on one thing for any real length of time. So it's like they're jumping back and forth all over the place. And that becomes really challenging for a parent who's trying to help that child of theirs, finish the homework or do the dishes or clean their room or even just hang out with their friends because they can't stay focused on one task for very long. Some of the things that I've found that have been very helpful are just first, a lot of patience and repetition. So when you're able to sit down with that youth and talk to them about what the challenges they're facing and ask them, say, what is it that's going on? What do you feel right now? And have them explain how they feel so that they're heard and so that they know you understand that this isn't easy for them and it's not like they're trying to get in trouble, but that it's very difficult to stay on task. And then there are times when you can create changes or breaks in what they're doing. So if you can set up little breaks so that they work on homework for 5 minutes and then stand up and do something else for just a minute. Or maybe you talk about one of the questions for a second and then go back to the homework. And then maybe they stand up and get a glass of water and then sit down and do their homework again. But when you plan in some small breaks and allow them to have things that will help their mind to diversify or work on different things, that helps them to get the main goal done in a faster amount of time and they can focus on it more. Because this isn't necessarily something that they're trying to do. Just like any other kid, they want to do well. I believe that all kids want to do well. But when the mind is having difficulty focusing on one thing, well, help them out by giving them some other things to focus on and then redirecting them back to what the task is at hand. One of the big things that I see parents run into is frustration. That they do their best and they're trying to help their son or daughter and they just get frustrated. They feel like they're getting beat up. That they push and push and push, and no matter what they do, this wonderful kid that they have just isn't responding. And nothing seems to work. So having patience and having a good conversational dialogue, being willing to talk to your kid about exactly what's going on and identifying it. Hey, John, I just noticed that you worked on your homework for 5 minutes, but then you got up and you were looking out the window. And after you looked out the window, you walked over to the piano and started playing with the piano keys. I know that it's hard to focus on one thing, but maybe we can choose 2 things to do right now. That you could focus on doing homework, and then when you start to feel distracted, walk over and play piano for a second. And go back and forth between those 2 things. And that might help John to be able to figure out a more successful way through the challenge that he has with ADD.